Howdy, it's TJ here, and I am back to do a review of the editing that has been most recently submitted by Patrick, who continues to be the workhorse of the editing team. So good job to Patrick, and thank you for your patience. Now, the last thing I was supposed to review was it was supposed to be the Good Friends coloring. Let me see here. The first coloring you did was Good Friends 1.0, and then I was looking for a new version. I did do a second round of coloring, so this was sent to me on the 16th of March, right? I went in the folder to try and find it, but I could not. So when I go here and I go into your, make sure this is it. No, these are just the ones for everyone. So when I go in your folder here, I see Good Friends 1.0. This is dated on the 7th, which coincides with when you asked me to look at the first Good Friends. Here we go. So look for Good Friends 1.0. This was on the 8th, and you finished it on the 7th here. Okay, so that lines up. But now the latest one, the newest round, would have been from the 16th and beyond, so around that date. But I only see one thing titled here, Good Friends, and that was the first round. So if you have a second round, you got to put it in your folder, so I can see it, because I don't see it right now. Let me see here. You got promo 1, Premiere Profile. You have the promo no number Premiere Profile, and I did check the other folders too, but there's nothing there. So instead, what I'm going to look at is the latest butterfly promos or teasers, which would have been 3.4 and 4.4, because the last ones that I reviewed were 3.3 and 4.3. So we have two separate versions there. And let me see here. When I go back to editing team, where's editing team? Editing team. So when I go in here and I look to see the last couple reviews that I did, here's 4.3 and here's 3.3. So I did a half and half. First one was 3.3. The notes were on the cut. I think that the compactness is good. It feels short overall. The establishing shot is out of focus. Consider putting titles in the foreground. The why the fuck are you here? And the answering shot are being directed towards the same side of the screen, so that means that the actor's looking here, and then it cuts to a shot of another actor looking this way too, when they should be looking opposite ways if they're addressing each other. So I get what that's saying. The cuts are working. The repetitiousness could be improved upon with different looking footage, or just cutting them out to make the teaser shorter. We had some sound effect notes for 3.3. The portal sound cuts abruptly into the establishing shot. Recommend trying a fade, and recommend trying some kind of sound effects under the second portal. And then the last few notes are the titles. Good returns to portals plus titles. Opening titles, consider if smaller font works better. So when we brought the portal plus the titles back, it was a good return. Consider using smaller font. Consider making Do You Believe and Time Travel less direct to time travel. Make the same point. So don't give away too much too quickly that it's about time travel. Make it seem like it could be about time travel. Can a past truth hide a future lie? Consider replacing with a statement or question more relevant to what happens in the story without being too direct in time travel. So that's a bit weird. Past truth, future lie. So that is time travel. That kind of seems time relative. So it's related to time, past, future, a lie. But the only thing about it is nobody's hiding a past truth or a future lie, so that's the only thing. Robin's title should fade out closer to the end of the shot. So that's what we said about 3.3. let's go and look at 3.4. I already have it loaded up here, I believe. Yeah. So let's look at 3.4.
I've come from a distant place to be here.
Why the fuck are you here?
I traveled 12 years into the future.
Taking a quick pause just to make a note real quick. So first we're going to look at the cut. Then we're going to look at the sound effects. And we're going to look at the titles.
I've come from a distant place to be here. I've come from a distant...
Oh, let me put my headphones in real quick.
place to be here.
Why the fuck are you here?
I traveled 12 years into the future. Place to be here.
Why the fuck are you here?
I traveled 12 years into the future.
Okay, nice. All right, so go back 3.
I've come from a distant...
So let's talk about this real quick. Can I mute this? All right, so first of all, I like the compactness. It is very simple. Let me see how long this was. 28 seconds. Good length. Oh, let me pause the music. I can let it play. Let's see. Good length. Always keep it short. Good return. Okay, the facing shot, good. This feels smoother than before. Let me just compare the establishing shot real quick. So I know we've been trying to get the establishing shot right. Before, I guess there was something about the brightness about it that was off. Here, this now is something a little bit different. This is a very specific and static shot. A lot of it is completely blacked out, which I would prefer that to it being brighter than it should be. What's going on my light? Anyways, somehow I feel like this should be moving. So the scope of the shot could be wider. It feels like it should be moving. Here I'm looking at some beachfront property, some skyline, that's fine. I have a lot of darkness in this establishing shot. But I do have the movement, like with the cars. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. The main thing that I don't like about this shot is the fact that so much of it is nothing. It's just dark water, which thematically may make sense a little bit, but we don't have anything to do with the ocean really. So I mean, if this was like a little corner, that'd be much better than if it was literally half of the entire shot. So that's one thing. I don't know if you could have done anything to fix that. Like if you cropped it. So the second problem would be it's so static. It's so static, and that necessarily isn't always bad. It just feels like it's not right here. It feels like this shot should be one of those aerial moving shots, like that, like a helicopter looking over a city or something. Otherwise, what you're focused on is the passage of time, right? Which thematically may not be a bad thing. Visually, it just doesn't seem to feel quite right. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. I have to test to see if you could shift this motion into this shot.